All right, welcome to this explainer. Listen, if you've ever found yourself scrolling through social media, just totally mesmerized by those incredibly perfect, cute, kawaii journaling pages, you are definitely not alone. It's so easy to look at that highly aesthetic handwriting and think, man, that is an impossible dream, especially when, your own notes end up looking like a rushed, painful scribble. But today we're going to totally unpack the science and the art behind beautiful penmanship, because our goal here, we want to give you the exact secrets to achieving neat, highly legible, beautifully aesthetic handwriting completely without the hand cramps or the physical fatigue.
So let's start with a really basic question. Are you just born with bad handwriting? Like, is it some sort of genetic lottery where a lucky few get the beautiful script gene and the rest of us are just doomed to chicken scratch forever? No way. We need to debunk this myth right out of the gate. Good penmanship is absolutely not a genetic trait you either have or you don't.
Actually, handwriting expert Lindsay Bugsby hit the nail on the head. She points out that good handwriting isn't innate at all. Instead, she says, what we're seeing on a page is a snapshot of what someone is feeling that day. I love that. Messy writing usually just reflects rushed thoughts, social pressure, or stress. It's literally just a mood snapshot. It is not a permanent lack of skill. Okay, so to get you to that perfect aesthetic script, here is our roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover 1. The myth of bad handwriting. 2. Posture and comfort. 3. The perfect pen. 4. Muscle memory. 5. Basic strokes. And finally, 6. Keys to legibility. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The myth of bad handwriting.
Out of place, illegible handwriting usually stems from a lack of mind control rather than hand control. Think about it. When your mind is racing way faster than your hand because you feel pressured to capture a thought, your writing completely loses its proper form. To fix this, you've really got to reframe your mindset. Try creating a comfortable, pressure-free environment for your daily writing. Give yourself, say, 30 minutes a day, just as a gift to yourself, a little reward for working hard, where it is absolutely okay to go slow. When you take the hurry out of the equation, your focus can actually hold on to your thoughts, and I promise your handwriting will instantly become so much tidier.
Moving on to Section 2. Posture, positioning, and comfort.
Here's the thing. A calm mind just isn't enough if your body is actively fighting you. True legibility and getting that effortless kawaii look is physically impossible if you're uncomfortable. Incorrect posture is all too common. It's the slouching, it's clutching the pen like your life depends on it, having the paper perfectly straight, and burying your nose in the desk. Correct posture, on the other hand, means sitting upright, feet flat on the floor, keeping a nice, loose grip on your pen, and rotating your paper so it's actually parallel to your writing arm. Oh, and get this is wild. Ergonomic research shows that if your eyes are less than 30 centimeters from your writing surface, you increase your risk of myopia, nearsightedness, by about 11 times. So seriously, sit up and give your eyes some breathing room. Now, if you want to write for long stretches without your hand screaming in pain, you've got to look at the historical Palmer method, also known as muscular movement writing. The whole secret here is that you should not be using the tiny, easily fatigued muscles in your fingers to draw letters. Instead, plant the meaty part of your forearm on the desk, keep those fingers still, and let the larger muscles of your shoulder and back do the heavy lifting, just pivoting right on that forearm muscle. It's a total game changer. It literally completely eliminates hand cramps. All right, Section 3. Finding your perfect pen. We are so quick to blame our hands, right? But the tools you choose actively change the natural shape, size, and whole aesthetic of your handwriting. For example, a hybrid gel pen, like a Uni Jetstream, is going to force precision. It makes your writing crisp, clean, and quite small, which is perfect if you're writing in tiny planner grids. But if you grab a fast-drying gel pen, like the Zebra Sarasa, the ink flows so smoothly that it actually encourages a swoopy, relaxed, fluid style, which is absolutely perfect for that cute, bubbly kawaii look. And then you have fountain pens, like the Kaweka Sport. Those naturally slow down your pace and force a much more scripted, rhythmic style. So play around. Experiment a bit to find the tool that naturally complements the exact aesthetic you're going for.
Which brings us to Section 4. Rewiring your muscle memory.
Once you've got that perfect pen in hand, we have to talk about the internal brain-body connection. I want you to think of your brain driving your pencil, kind of like a school bus. And your brain has two very different drivers it can tag in: the eyes and muscle memory. Now, if your eyes are driving the pencil, you're relying totally on sight to figure out where to go next. That is slow, it's shaky, and it takes so much intense concentration. But when muscle memory takes the wheel, it already knows exactly where to start, when to turn, and where to stop. It creates these beautifully smooth, automated strokes. So you're probably wondering, how do I know which driver is currently in charge? Well, there's actually a brilliant secret test for this. Try establishing a smooth rhythm. If you can easily chant words or count out loud to a steady beat while you're writing, then your muscle memory is successfully driving the bus. But if your eyes are driving, your brain is working way too hard processing all those visual directions, and you simply won't be able to maintain a vocal rhythm while forming your letters. It's literally that simple. Now, if you want to figure out exactly which letters need their muscle memory completely rewired, you should do a legibility test. Just write out a quick sample paragraph and have a friend circle any parts that are hard to read. Maybe your A looks a little bit too much like a U, or your Y is masquerading as a G. Having a buddy do this completely removes your own personal bias. I know it might feel a little vulnerable having someone critique your handwriting, but it tells you exactly which specific shapes you need to focus your practice on.
Section 5. Mastering the basic strokes.
So we take those problem letters and zoom way in on the micro-level execution. The cool thing is, every single letter in cursive or connected scripts is literally just a combination of 4 really simple, repeatable movements. You have the undercurve that swings up, the down curve that dives down, the over curve that bounces up, and the slant. That's the whole shebang. For instance, making a lowercase a is simply a down curve, followed by an undercurve, and finished with a slant. Because it's all about those basic shapes. Before you sit down to really write, you should always do about 5 minutes of pre-writing drills. Just practice continuous undercurves or ovals. Think of it exactly like stretching before a big workout. It loosens up the hand, completely wards off that painful pen clutching habit, and really warms up your muscle memory so you get that smooth, controlled execution. Finally, Section 6, Keys to Lasting Legibility. This final step is all about the aesthetic layouts of the entire page, maintaining absolute uniformity in 4 key areas. Shape, slant, spacing, and size is honestly the ultimate secret to beautiful, universally readable handwriting. Seriously, no matter what style of lettering you choose, if these 4 keys stay consistent, your kawaii journal is going to look absolutely stunning. When it comes to messy pages, spacing is almost always the biggest culprit. Words end up looking completely cramped together or just randomly scattered across the page. But the solution is unbelievably simple. The finger rule. When you're practicing, literally just place 1 finger on the page to leave exactly 1 finger space between your words. It's an old school trick, but it totally works for training your spatial awareness.
And one last tip here, you absolutely must train your eyes and hands using guidelines. Your letters have to sit on the line. If they're floating up into space or dipping way below it, it completely destroys the legibility. So use lined paper, dot grids, or graph sheets, especially when you're just starting out. They basically act as training wheels for your eyes until all that uniformity just becomes second nature.
Okay, let's quickly review the handwriting blueprint we just built. Number 1, reframe your mindset to take the pressure off. Number 2, fix that posture, sit up, and loosen up your death grip on the pen. Number 3, experiment to find the pen that actually suits your natural style. Number 4, use 5-minute drills to let your muscle memory take the wheel. And number 5, lock in those 4 keys of legibility: uniform shape, slant, spacing, and size.
Ultimately, it all comes down to a choice you make every single time you sit down at your desk. So I'm going to leave you with this. How are you going to use your new, pressure-free, comfortable writing environment today? Are you going to finally start that aesthetic journal? Maybe write a really heartfelt letter to a friend? Or just take some beautiful, mindful notes for yourself? The pen is quite literally in your hand. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.